How far removed are we from the Drew Carey show?
No, we're pretty close now. I mean, what happened was I do this show, and it's not working. And, back then when the shows weren't working, they would try other things.
Mm-hmm.
Like they'd add people into it. So they kind of...
They did do that.
Yeah. So they
Just make him an alien, put a baby in.
That's right. So they added a hot young stand-up comic to the cast of Maybe This Time. A young gentleman called Dane Cook.
No kidding.
Yeah, Dane was just starting out. So Dane comes out, and he was as sweet as anything and funny as fuck.
Yeah.
I mean, he was great. And he came in, and he started, he was getting all the shit that I was getting. I was like, fucking writings on the wall for me. So I didn't know you couldn't do this, so I quit.
Wow.
I quit a sitcom, which was like crazy. It was like Disney TV. And there was a guy called Dean Valentine, who was the head of, and he was like meant to be really super scary and stuff like that. And I said to him, I want to quit. This is not working for me. This show's not going to work for me.
That's
and he's
insane to do it. That
yeah,
time.
it was nuts. And he said, okay. And he let me quit, which he didn't have to do. He could have kept me there. And what happened was that I had to look for another job. I've told this story before, but I'll tell it quickly for you.
Please.
So I get this audition. I'm going on auditions, and my buddy from Scotland is there, a guy, my oldest friend, and we're just kind of tooling around. And I get this call to go for an audition. So I said, send me the sides. They used to send you like little bits of paper with your lines on it. So he sent me the sides. And it's for a sitcom called Suddenly Susan with Brooke Shields.
Of course, yes.
And the sides,
insane.
The sides are for the part of the Hispanic photographer. I'm like, the fuck? Like,
I'm good at acting. I can do Hitler, but I can't do Spanish.
I said, I can do German. I can do this one very well. Cancer photographer be from Germany. So I'm like, I'm not even going to fucking go for this. And my buddy who's there, he's like, what the fuck else are you doing? You needed in surgery, doctor? Go to fucking audition.
It's always that story, yeah.
So I go to the audition, and everybody in there's all these actors waiting. I said, everybody looks like Antonio Banderas.
Yeah.
Right? and I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake. And I go in, and the Warner Brothers casting people are there. And so I try and do the lines. Everybody's there, and they're all doing it. And I try and do the lines with my best, Mexican accent, which I'm not gonna fucking do. Yeah. All right, but I sound like fucking Shrek and Speedy Gonzales, right? And I fucking do this, and they're laughing their asses off, and it's not working, but I'm laughing at it too. And at the end of it, the casting guy says, "Look, obviously this is some kind of mistake." I went, "No shit," and he said,
"Oh, you don't think, do you?"
Yeah. And then he said to me, he said, the Drew Carey show is looking for an English boss. Can you do an English accent? And I said, "Si, senor, yes, I can."
This guy's a pro.
Yeah. And that's how I went in to do the Drew Carey show for like one episode, and then that became 3 episodes, and then Drew was like, "You wanna stay?" And I'm like, yeah, I do. Because I was really, I remember I've told this before. I had 27 cents left. I don't know if
after quitting the Betty White show.
Yeah, I'd spent it all. And the
on what?
Yeah, never
Fair
mind.
enough.
Yeah.
What am I?
Never mind that. What are you, a fucking cop?
Was a library fees.
So I just got through it. I don't know why, actually. You're right. I don't know why I got through, because by that time I'm not doing drugs, I'm not drinking. I don't know what the fuck I spent it on.
Right,
But it went. Probably, if my guess is right, probably representation.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Certainly back then.
Also, it's like, at that time, too, you get a check through that. It's like half the taxes, managers, agents. It's all, you end up getting like 22% of it.
And where were you living right before you got the Drew Carey show? So you were...
I had
You didn't have money saved up.
No, I had a rental place in Hollywood.
By yourself?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I met a girl,
Okay.
and she moved in, and then we got married.
Okay.
And we're not married.
I understand.
Yeah. But we got married. We were married for a few years, and I had my first kid.
Okay.
And he was born, and that all happened around about that time.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah.
The fucking
Drew Carey show, yeah. It changed my life, that thing.
That's crazy.
And I don't know if you've ever had 27 cents in a bank account, but
yes, we have.
Well, you can't.
In my 40s.
Yeah,
I'm 49 now.
You can't get it out.
No.
It costs a fucking $1 to
Yeah.
get your 27 cents out.
Yeah. This is all very new to us.
Yeah. Well, you guys are doing great. Look at you. You got a fucking
Got a table.
You got a fucking...
This is from Raymore and Flanagan, too.
These microphones aren't even on.
Look at this shit. That's
None of these
amazing.
cameras work. Holy
Wow.
shit.
Now, okay, sorry.
I was gonna say, even though so you just got married, you had a kid, but when you started getting those kind of checks on a '90s sitcom,
good times.
what was that like? Now you had quit drinking, you'd put your past behind you.
Yeah.
Was there a crazy big purchase, or what was that like?
A house,
that shock?
a car.
I bought a house.
And
then during this time, I wrote a movie.
Okay.
I used to write movies in my trailer. Like Norm Macdonald, God rest him, he was doing a sitcom across the way. I liked Norman. He was a lovely man, and he said he would be out smoking cigarettes, and I'd be in writing movies in my trailer. And he said, I didn't realize what a burning furnace of ambition you were at the time. I thought you were just like unsociable. But I'd write these movies, and one of the movies did really well. It's a movie called Saving Grace, and it was about a lady who...
That's not bad.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
It's about a middle-aged lady who grows marijuana in her greenhouse to get herself out of financial trouble, and it did well, and I made a bit of money. So I bought a house in the Hollywood Hills, but I made a little more money, so I also bought an apartment in Paris.
Bought an apartment in Paris.
Did you?
Yeah!
That's what it's all about, baby.
Now, if we stopped there, that'd be great. but after, when I got divorced again,
Gotcha.
Do you know that thing as well when they say you lose half your stuff? That's people who haven't been divorced.
Yeah.
You lose all your stuff.